Good morning. It is Monday, June the 16th of 2025, and here in my old Kentucky home, it is cloudy, chances of rain, chances of some storms. Nothing bad, I don't think. But yesterday afternoon, just all of a sudden, it would just start pouring sheets of rain. I've never seen, yeah, I have seen something like it. But it did that off and on all yesterday afternoon. So I guess we're still going to have some more today and probably tomorrow and even Wednesday. And that's when that my girl and me are supposed to go to the college and have her orientation day. So I pray that it will be where we won't have to be out in that pouring rain, because I'd say there'll be thousands of kids there for that orientation. But hopefully we'll just do the best we can. But you know, I have had a little anxiety about Wednesday. And I'm just going to ask you all to pray that I will have the strength and the stamina to drive up there and to hold up all day, because it lasts till like 4 in the afternoon. And hopefully I won't have to stand a whole lot during that time. And I'm sounding like an old person and I don't want to, but this morning, actually, well, I prayed last night, Lord, Wednesday, guide my hands to drive. And, you know, in the city, there's a lot of traffic. And here in this little town, we're not used to that. But there is quite a bit of traffic here. But I never leave home on a trip like that. Well, I don't leave home going to town here without saying, you know, keep me safe, help me drive, and not hurt anybody else or hurt myself. It's just I think I'm getting more used to not driving in busier places than just here. And that's not a good thing. I don't want to get to where I'm afraid to drive. I remember when my mom was, well, she would have been in her 50s or early 60s, because she died at 65. And she would go to Louisville to spend 2 or 3 days with her sister. And I'd think, oh no, she don't need to be driving to Louisville by herself like that. You know, she's an old woman. Well, here I am, 73, and driving to Lexington, Bowling Green, places like that. And I don't think anything about it. Although, I do pray for safety, because I know I can't do it by myself. This morning I woke up at about 3, and I am a little stressed out about going Wednesday, because we have to be there. We don't have, H-A-V-E, have to. The world is not going to end if we're not there, but we're supposed to be there between 6:30 and 7 our time. So, 2 hours driving, and that's going to be partially in the dark. We need to leave 4:30 just to give us 2 hours. But I'm thinking we need to leave a little bit before that. So I'm thinking I'll probably have to get up at 3 or at least 3:30. And I'm not looking forward to the driving part. But then we park in a parking garage and can walk across a covered walkway part of the way to the building that we're going to. So even if it rains, maybe it won't be too bad. I hope it doesn't. But anyway, you all remember that, because it will be kind of stressful, but we can do it. And my girl's so excited about going. She wasn't supposed to work today. Well, that kind of put me in a damper mood, because when she's here all day, we kind of have to work around her, whatever she's doing. And my husband was going riding this morning, and I thought, well, here she's going to be in the bed probably till about 9. She don't sleep too late. And I'll have to wait till after 9 to make a video, because, I can't make it with her here. Well, here she come in the kitchen about 8 o'clock, and she said that one of the people was sick and not working today, so they had called her in. And I thought, goody, goody. But she was glad, too, because she don't want to stay around here and be bored all day. But she looked so cute She got ready, and I scrambled 4 eggs and made and cooked a couple pieces of bacon and a little bit of country ham and some toast with butter, and she ate a bite of bacon. She's like me, she'd rather have a big honey bun or something. But I'm telling you what, and I want to ask you this. Over the weekend, I thought, maybe I need to go to the doctor and get some blood work, because I usually get it about once a year. Because I'm just feeling so draggy, just draggy. And I'm not going to complain about being depressed, but I am, but I don't really know how to get out of that. Well, I do, but I don't have the motivation to do it, I guess. But I started thinking last night, I loved sweets. And I could eat sweets every day and for every meal. And of a morning, I've been awful bad, like eat those muffins. Well, there was a big pop. I don't know what it was. And then, like I'll eat something decent at lunch, but then I'll eat something sweet. And then at night, I'll eat cereal, which is sugared cereal. And, I'm eating so many sweets. Well, I had seen this girl yesterday at church, and she said, I am completely off sugar. And I forgot what else she said she'd quit eating. But she had lost 30 pounds in the last few months. I don't know how long. But she said, I feel so much better. And last night I got to thinking, that sugar may be what is just dragging me down to the ground. So starting today, now I wouldn't bet my life on it, because, I might go into a sugar withdrawal or something and have to eat sugar. I'm not going off sugar completely. But this morning, I ate some scrambled eggs, a little country ham, and some toast with butter. No sugar. Oh, but I do eat these gummies every day, vitamins. Well, I won't count that, because usually every morning, I have extra sweet. So I'm going to try that and see if I can get a little bit more energy, be a little bit more peppy, because I need some pep. Does anybody out there need some pep? But I would rather just that toast with butter. I'd rather just have me some jelly or honey or molasses or something on it. But I'm going to try to do better and see if I can feel a little bit peppier. But I don't know if I told you, but I ordered some peaches from the cheerleaders, and they're from Georgia. And they were delivered last week. I forgot what the size. I guess there was probably 30 peaches. And they're real dark skin. They're beautiful peaches, but they weren't real ripe, which was good. And I laid them out on a tray just to kind of let them ripen a little bit more. So yesterday, I peeled probably 10 or 15 and cut them up in little pieces so that my husband could eat them, because he likes peaches, and put plenty of sugar on them. And I froze 3 little quart bags that had 2 cups of diced sweetened peaches in it. And I thought that would be good just to thaw out along and along. And then he ate a pretty good little bowl of them, and he said they were really good. Do you know that yesterday morning he ate a honey bun, which, he didn't used to eat sweets at all. He ate a honey bun and ate, I'd say, a half a cup of peaches that afternoon. That's all he ate all day. He just didn't have an appetite. But Saturday, I opened a can of pinto beans. Now, I love Lux pinto beans. You can't beat them. I mean, you can't cook them hardly any better than that. But these were Bush. Of course, I can't taste them anyway. So, I opened a can of Bush beans. I took a couple potatoes, peeled them, washed them, sliced them into little sticks, not real little, and put them in a glass bowl, put a little salt on them, put them in the microwave for 8 minutes to kind of tenderize them a little bit. See, I'm trying to think of shortcuts. And then I fried them in the skillet in some bacon grease, which you can't beat that. And then I made a fresh pound of cornbread. So he had a sliced tomato, cornbread, pinto beans, and potatoes. And he said that tasted good. So we were going to have that yesterday as a warm-up. But he didn't want it. He didn't want it yesterday. So maybe he'll eat it today. I'm not going to throw it out, honey, after I've gone to all that trouble. Would you? And then the other day I bought some of those refrigerated chocolate chip cookies. Listen, it's the Pillsbury, I think, is what I bought. They are so, they're about that big round, the roll is. And while they're cool, or while they're cold, you slice them off. I sliced some of those off the other day. They were that big, those cookies were. Because I didn't cut them. I just sliced them, laid them on the cookie sheet, and baked them. And they're quite good. And so they were all eaten. So this morning, I fixed just 6. But I mean, you wouldn't believe how big those things are. And he'll eat those. So I've got him some peaches with sugar and chocolate chip cookies with sugar. But if it tastes good to him, I just want him to eat. I just want him to eat something. So hopefully he'll eat that. Oh, and I forgot I boiled a couple of eggs. And he ate some boiled egg the other day. So, listen, I think you all are encouraging me to be a Susie homemaker. Well, let's not get carried away. All right. I think I've had too much sugar. Something I wanted to tell you about. I've been feeding the horses about every day. Well, I think it was Friday or Saturday. My girl come home and I said, I left the horses for you to feed. She said, okay. So she said, I may stay down the barn for a little while because sometimes she'll go down there and scoop up the poop that they've pooped in the walkway. Well, it was about to get dark. It was getting close to dark. And she calls me from the barn. So, I know, oh, Lord, please don't let the horses be sick or don't let her get hurt. She said, Mom, she FaceTimed me. Look at this. And she turned that camera around and there was a big snake crawling in the inside of the barn, just against the wall, going up into the loft. Well, I mean, it gave me the willies just looking at it. Well, she was about hysterical. But I said, get yourself to the house. She said, I was wondering why I never see a mouse in the barn. I said, that big snake, it's untelling how long that thing was. And this is what I was thinking about. We have one of those big round bales of hay sitting in there. You've probably seen it on some of the videos I've done. That the horses are still eating on. We usually don't keep them in there in the summer, but this last one we got, they're still eating on it. And when I go down there to feed them, instead of getting the pitchfork to kind of break that hay up where they can reach it over this wood, I'll just scoop it up in my arms and throw it up there next to the fence so they can reach it. Can you imagine if I had scooped up that hay and that snake would have come? I'd have died. Well, when she come back to the house, we was both just had the willies thinking about that snake. And she said, don't ever scoop that hay up with your hands again. Use the pitchfork. So that's what I'm going to do. I haven't been down there to feed them since, but today I think I'll have to. Maybe. We'll see. I can't stand a snake. But I'm about as scared of a mouse as I am a snake. But I'm a pretty good mouse catcher. Because I have those mouse traps, I got from Amazon. They're the best. I mean, you don't have to pull that little wire back and try to set that thing. Whenever I used to do that all the time, and I would try to set those mouse traps, and then you would try to lay it down on the floor real easy, and you'd get it down there and it'd flop. Well, I'd scream my head off then. If you've not got those mouse traps, they're on Amazon. They're white and they're plastic. Now, they don't last as long as those others do, but they are worth every penny because they will catch a mouse, and then all you've got to do is just release this little thing and dump them out. If anybody's interested, tell me and I'll try to, I don't know if I may still have a package of them. And you know what? No, I'm not going to talk about that now because I want to get one and show you whenever I do that. But those are really good mouse traps if you want to try them. But now I'm going to be scared to go to the barn because of that snake. But I'll have to do it because Friday is when my girl is going on her trip to Florida. And she's going to be gone, I think, from Friday till like the next Saturday. So I don't know what we're going to do then. I know one thing, I'm going to be feeding horses. Let's see, there was something else I wanted to tell you that was so important. Maybe if I sit here, Cynthia will get on Senior Insights of a morning and say, I have no idea what I'm going to talk about. And then she talks on and on and on and on. Oh, I had a picture I was going to bring up here to show you, and I forgot it. But I want to show you this. Do you remember in one of the videos I was telling you about when my brother, this was in 2014 and 15 and 16 and part of 17, that I would go every Wednesday to Lexington and either stay in the hospital with him overnight or Cardinal Hill when he was in the rehab. And then when he was in the nursing home, I would go and just spend like several hours of a day. And I was trying to think if that was in 15, my girl would have been about 8. And you know, that was a big sacrifice for her, that her mom was leaving her overnight, because I would go on Wednesday, stay all day. Of course, she would be at school, and then stay that night. And then by the next day when she got home from school, I would be back. But that was a big sacrifice for a little girl, especially when you're staying with the king of unfun. She never complained about it, never said a word about me being gone. But last night I went down and I was looking through some pictures, and I found this little card. It says, hello. And when you open it up, here's a little note from her. I'm going to read it to you. It says, Dear Mom, I hope you had a nice trip. How does Rick look? That's my brother. I hope he is feeling better. I hope you had a good night's sleep. I'm good. I have just been playing. And it says sing here, but I think it meant sign, S-I-G-N. And then she said, I love you. 2015. Isn't that precious? Whew, that was a really, really, really rough time, I'll tell you. And let me tell you, oh yeah, I found this down there, and I brought it upstairs, and I said, bad news. I said, I have found, wait a minute, this envelope, and it was still sealed up to Santa Claus, the North Pole, and then it had from her name on it. And she had used a Christmas card to write Santa, to ask for what she wanted for Christmas. And I told her, I said, I am so sorry, but somehow that did not get mailed to Santa. And here it is all sealed up. So me and her had a good laugh about that last night. She said, Dear Santa, this year I want a phone, which she didn't get. I want the horse club something, horse and trailer. I want a starter makeup kit, and I want the Heart Lake City School. Thanks, sincerely. It's SINCIRLY, which that's a pretty good stab. I'm not sure what year that was, but I told her, I said, you know, I bet you Santa brought you that stuff anyway. So it didn't hurt anything that we didn't get the letter mailed. But I thought that was so sweet. No, I had found a picture of the first car that I got. The only new car, well, the only car my dad ever bought me. And I wanted to show you a picture of it because Tracy on Life in the Wild West had put her picture of this car that her dad got her. It was a sharp looking car. I think it was a Mustang. Convertible. Now, buddy, that's, of course, in California, you'd have to have a convertible, I'm sure. But, and I think I've mentioned this car before, but anyway, I'm going to get that picture and I'll show it to you later. But hey, I'm going to get off here because I've been rattling 21 minutes. And some of you's not going to watch all the way through. And I've got to go up and meet my girl for lunch. When she left, she said, does this mean I'm going to have to eat lunch by myself? Since she's going in work and we wasn't planning it. And I said, no, I'll be there. So I'm going to go up and meet her at my little house. And I don't know what I'll do. I'll be back home to take a nap later. But I'll talk to you soon. And you guys have a great day. And be happy and enjoy this day. And let's pray for Israel. Because they're having some rough times over there. So I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.